All right, so part 2 now is I have my backwards reflection. I've thought through the different parts. Now I'm just going to figure out for each of these steps what's something I could have done in between to have made things better or kept things from getting worse. All right, so let's go. Actually, in this case, we'll start here. So I was doing my work and I was fine. Nothing to do because I'm already fine, so I don't need to write anything here. Okay, I was meeting with my coworker and asked them about the boss meeting. Okay, well, right off the bat, the boss meeting had nothing to do with me, right? Well, it shouldn't have had anything to do with me. I didn't need to know that, and honestly, like asking my coworker for sort of the gossipy version of it instead of just checking in with my boss because we had a weekly check-in, like I could have just asked that. So here's somewhere where I could have checked in with boss about the meeting, right? Instead of my coworker, right? Like, because my boss could have explained a lot of things that turned out at the end, right? Like I made a lot of assumptions that I was getting mad about that weren't even true. So had I just checked in straight with my boss and been, hey, how'd the meeting go? I wouldn't have even gotten mad and we could have had a conversation and I wouldn't have gotten myself in trouble. Okay, so that's one thing I could have done. If I can think of other things, then I should go ahead and write them there. Honestly, that's kind of the main thing, right? Like otherwise, it's okay for me to check in with my coworker, right? All right, so then the next step when I got angry because they told me something the boss said to them that I thought was messing me up. Well, so this is the thing. I could have calmed myself, used some coping skills, right? In my case, breathing works for me. I do something I call reframing, which really works for me, something you can learn where you kind of think about the thing and be like, what's something else that could have been causing this problem? So I was mad that I thought they were messing me up. What could be another explanation for this that's like the boss is not messing you up? Because it turned out they weren't, and so that was my problem. I didn't reframe it. So could have calmed myself down a bit. Reframing would have been a really good one, like get perspective, right? So, hey, I'm upset about it. I think this is what's happening, but I could have gotten some clarity and perspective, calmed myself and checked in with my boss, say, hey, this is what I heard was going on. Is this the case, right? Before I just got mad and made all these accusations, right? Okay. So then after that, I wrote this angry email about something I thought my boss did and sent it. So obviously, I should have done these things and had this conversation, right? Instead of sending an email. An email is a terrible way to handle any of these kind of things. It always gets misunderstood, even if it's with friends. Never should have emailed, but so once I did email this angry email and sent it, maybe I could have followed up with the boss, right? And apologized before they were checking with me. Say, hey, I should never have sent that email. Can we check in person, right? It's kind of a little late. I already sent it. I'm already going to be a little bit in trouble, but at least that might have made this meeting go a little bit differently and had my boss be a little less mad at me. So again, just working through kind of coming up with as many different ideas of things that could have helped at each stage. And you can see, right, by doing this process, there's a lot of things I could have done early on that would have prevented a lot of these bigger problems. Like at each step, I made things worse for myself. So, again, the ideal is I can handle things before I'm really angry, before it gets worse, before the problem's bigger by doing some of these things down here. And that sets us up for the next step.